SS Rajamouli breaks down the Oscar nominated song Naatu Naatu on Vanity Fair, where all the Hollywood directors do that, and finally he's doing it. So let's have a look.
I must have seen this song many times. I sometimes watch it on YouTube or go to the streaming platforms and watch the song again. I was worried
Which
that
song?
I wouldn't give you the notes and I myself will keep watching this song again.
Oh, Naatu Naatu, okay.
Hello, this is SS Rajamouli. I'm the director of a Telugu language Indian film RRR.
Yes, you are.
And I'm so happy to be here to give you the notes on the scene, notes on the song Naatu Naatu. The first thing that comes to me when we talk about Naatu Naatu is the location itself. It was shot in Kyiv, actually the presidential palace. This was actually supposed to happen in India, but because it was monsoon time then, so we were trying to scout the locations and we found this and I really loved it. And then they told me it's the presidential palace. I thought, oh, maybe then I have to look for another location. But they said, no, this is Ukraine. You can get the job done. And so thankful for the Ukrainian team. The colors of the palace, the size of the palace, the size of the ground for the dancers to be there was the exact right size.
Wow. Sometimes I think you just get lucky and get the best thing ever. Maybe sometimes more than what you imagined, you know. That's rare, but it does happen.
Because we are talking about Kyiv.
I keep saying Nacho Nacho because I've like seen that so many times.
The beautiful thing about the song that many tend not to notice are the background dancers. If you look here, the bunch here, all of them are not extras, all of them are dancers. And if you can see how the men are not comfortable with this, two Indian guys taking their scene over, but the girls are really enjoying the steps. You can see all of them are perfectly enacting the scene before their turn comes when they have to dance. I was really surprised that the level of professionalism the dancers there in Ukraine had. Really loved working with them.
I do notice now when he said it, they are all in character.
The choreographer Prem Rakshith. He has worked with me before. He has worked with Charan before. He has worked with Tarak before. He gave one of the most memorable numbers for both of them. He knows their style, exactly what their body language is.
Okay.
He exactly knows what their fans expect out of them. Here, he has a very difficult job because here both the actors have to dance together. Each of them have their own style, but he has to find out a style which will suit both of them as a dancing style which would be not complicated, because I also wanted him to figure out steps which people would like to do for themselves.
Okay, so he does think like that. Okay,
it shouldn't be too difficult. It should suit the style of both the actors, and it should be fantastic. Quite a number of instructions, and he has come up with, you wouldn't believe it, more than 100 variations for this 3/4 signature Naatu 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 for that line. I remember he sent me the video. It was going on and on and on and on. And I had difficult time picking up the best 3/4 variations for this style.
nice.
So the first
I would like to see like all the other variations also.
to Prem Rakshith.
I've had enough of this nonsense. You two out.
No, Jake. I've had
I like the framing also. Like all the guys are behind him, all the girls are behind him.
enough of your bullying.
The Oscar voting is still going on, so you know it's nice they put it out now, so there's still time.
This for me is the best step in the entire song. The costume designer Rama, who also happens to be my wife, she didn't give the costumes like a song because it was supposed to be a scene. She gave the costume like a scene, and when Prem saw the dress and he saw the suspenders, he said, "Can I use the suspenders?" She said, okay. He composed a couple of steps and he said, if the suspenders are too tight, they can't be doing it so easily. It has to be a little bit loose for the dance step. So it was Prem's idea to bring the suspenders in. And the funny thing is, like, they had the loose suspenders only for this particular shot. Before and after it were tight suspenders. And just in the before shot, when Jenny, she pulls the suspenders and gives it and says, go, the suspenders were actually the tight suspenders and across their chest, and they had a wince on their face, but they were smiling until I said cut. And the moment I said cut, they were like walking away in pain. Even for them, this was the most difficult step, doing all the things on the top, the suspenders moving and sliding. Right foot also has to go to the side and come as they're sliding. I would say the genius of the choreographer. When I instructed him, I told him, yes, for the audience, this is a song, this is fun, they're dancing and everything. But for the story, it is actually a fight scene, because it starts off with on a bad note. An English guy is coming and insulting them, humiliating them. But both of
There's a whole story in the song itself, like just a song in itself. Cut out the whole movie, just the song is a story.
them are there on a purpose. They cannot really do a fist fight and blow their cover off. It moves into a kind of competition. You're seeing a song, you're seeing a dance, but in effect, you're getting the emotion of a fight. So that's the instruction that I gave Prem. That's what I needed. You see their body language, how they're standing, how their body movement is. It looks like a fight. That's how brilliant Prem is. Sindhil, my cinematographer, this is my 8th film with him. Initially, he shows me what kind of tone that he's looking at for this particular film. He'll give me 2 or 3 references, and then I don't meddle with the lighting or the tonality of the film. My production designer, Sabu, he had a lot of idea on how colonial India was. What the properties were, what the costume colors were. He had a lot of ideas, so he was really rushing through Kyiv to find the right kinds of properties and all these flower arrangements. Sabu was sitting there with the art director there, and he was particularly telling this color should come at the bottom, this color should come at the top, and he was
So much goes behind making just a frame. We don't even realize.
really putting all his effort into it, and Sindhil was there to look at. So I don't look at that at all. My job is to see whether my actors are doing the step the correct way that I want to. Their expression is perfect or not. That's the only job I look at it. We were shooting in the presidential palace, like I said, and here is the parliament. Parliament of Ukraine. I was so shocked. I asked my line producer there, is it okay to shoot a song on a full volume right by the side of the parliament in front of the presidential palace? He said, yeah, fine. No problem. Go ahead. Only thing is, it will be in actual metallic in color. In post, we made it like a lime plastered. One more point is all the background musicians who are holding the clarinets, the violins, and all that stuff. They are also actual musicians. I wanted them to be musicians because they hold the violin properly, they hold the clarinet properly, and all that. I asked Anna, is that okay? Can I place the musicians there? Is it okay for them to just stand there and act, not actually play? And, okay, no problem. Go ahead. This is the step which was like on TikTok or all the social media platforms where everyone was trying to do, whether it's friends, brothers, mother and daughter, husband and wife. Everyone were doing the step and posting on the social media, which really went
It worked.
viral and helped the film gain the popularity a lot. I like that effect. I mean, it's not new. It has been used many times where the track goes forward and we zoom back. So the artists are always occupying the full frame, but the background really comes forward. Initially, we tried moving it around, but we are losing the essence of the step. So
Yeah.
we use this one, just track forward and zoom back.
ಭೂಮಿ ತತ್ತರಿಲ್ಲೇಲ ಹೊಟ್ಟಿಲೋನಿ ರಗತಮಂತ ರಂಕಲೇಸಿ ಎಗಿರೇಲ ಎಸೆ ರೋಯಕಾಯಕಿ ನಾಟು ನಾಟು ನಾಟು
This is where the nightmare started for the costumers. From a solid ground, we moved on to a place where it was dusty. I wanted the dust to fly, but the costumes were made with such a delicate material, and we were making them do the Naatu Naatu step in the dust with this dress, and the dress were getting really, really dirty and spoiled. The costumers had to make 2 dresses,
Oh
3
my
dresses,
God.
and every day they had, after the shoot, they had
People asking, why this film costs so much, why there's so much budget you need to make a film. This is the reason. This is the exact reason.
to go and clean them very delicately. It's not that you can put them in a washing machine and take them out. They had to be hand cleaned properly. So after long working hours of working 8 hours a day, the costumers were taking the dresses and cleaning them properly and doing it again.
How many times it's the same place they shot it?
I really like to go lengthy takes. I don't like to cut in between. Here I had a long discussion with my editor on having this group coming into a formation. The idea is like all the guys are with Jake and all the girls are with Ram and Beam, and I wanted this mixed crowd to separate into
nice.
the girls coming behind Ram and Beam and the boys coming behind Jake. It was clearly established in the top angle shot. For me, it would have been nice if this entire thing was in one single shot, so you can see all the girls coming from the mixed position, and you see from the mixed position all the boys going here, and at the same time we see Jake is moving this way and Ram and Beam are moving towards this way. It was very well choreographed, but the editor said the punch would be nice if we cut it into 3 or 4 cuts. Well, sometimes even the director have to give in to your technicians.
Something to learn, something to learn. There's a certain effect, I don't know what it's called. Suddenly, Naatu Naatu, there's a reverb kind of a thing, which, it feels like the energy coming from the ground. And suddenly you also feel like, doing it. You also feel like, vibing on it. I don't know how they did that. That.
I must have seen this song many times, not just on the editing table. Even after the release, I sometimes watch it on YouTube or go to the streaming platforms and watch the song again. I watched the background dancers. I became a fan of these guys. You can see they are really acting like pros. They are not just dancing, but they had to do the steps wrong sometimes, and they have to express that they are not doing it properly and collapse one by one. I like each and every dancer here. This guy, how they were performing, and you should also see the girls, how Jenny goes back and he pulls her again, the expressions, how the girl just falls down. They're tired, but still really enjoying it. This girl, I think it's a very beautiful frame by Sendil. He got that dark dressed girl in the foreground as the action is happening in the background. One of the inspirations for me for these kind of frames is a completely different thing. In 10 Commandments, when the sea is parting, there is a shot of 3 ladies watching what is happening in front of them, and the arrangement is like a painting. It's not exactly like that, but a kind of inspiration is from there. And look at the guy's expression when Jake falls down. These guys, absolutely perfect. Tarak and Sharan are really exceptionally good dancers. I always feel...
reaction shots are so necessary. I've noticed a lot of times, people breaking down films, and some films I'm watching, Hollywood films, I feel like I wish there was a reaction shot here, I think that's the missing thing here. And SS Rajamouli, of course, does it amazingly. I think in Indian cinema, we do a lot of those reaction shots, and sometimes they're needed. And I think in one of those corridor videos where they were breaking it down. Some things they were talking about the reaction shots and how necessary they are sometimes to add and to have the big impact of that scene.
Dance is not about how acrobatic you are, how perfectly you can do your step. There are two important things. One is that you should really, really enjoy your dance. Only then can audience really get the enjoyment out of your dance. And second thing is, like, in every moment on the dance, you are conveying something to the audience, some kind of emotion. They really infused that energy. They're conveying that even though we are humiliated by you, we have this weapon of giving it back to you. Quite a subtle and difficult emotion to portray, but these two guys nailed it.
It's like, you build up to this crescendo, that they're defeated the British now, and suddenly they're winning, and then suddenly the expressions turn, right? And they look towards, oh, ho, ho, and they're like, no, there's more, there's more.
So the Indians have won. Actually, the story is over, but we know that N.T. Rama Rao and Ram Charan are two top heroes, commercial heroes, and the fans would love to see them compete against each other. They continue the dance, looking at each other.
I actually thought in the narrative also it made sense, but okay.
Like, okay, we defeated them. What about you and me? That wow expression of Jenny is the best. There
Reaction.
are countless messages, memes, everything saying that the entire audience expression towards the song is exactly that. And when this shot was made, the dust really flew. Everyone in the unit were coming into the tent and like peeking in, looking in, can we say that again? Can we play this again? This was the shot that everyone really, really loved. She's rooting for Beam Akhtar at that point of time, and he sees that Jenny is in love with Akhtar and he loses.
It's interesting, everyone else is supporting for Ram, I wonder how they got to know his name. Maybe in between dancing, they're like, what's your name? What's your name? You're a good dancer. Ram, okay, Ram.
Being his innocent self, he doesn't get it. He continues dances and he finishes it. For me, Naatu Naatu, one of the reasons why I think it is such a hit is not just because of the music, not just because of the dance, because there is a beautiful story in itself.
Yes.
The entire story of RRR is within that 10 minutes of Naatu Naatu lead scene and the complete song. No one in America or across the world really knows the meaning of the lyrics, but it is the catchiness of the lyric, the way the flows. I think that is the credit should be given to Chandra Bose, the lyricist. We had a blast shooting it. We had a blast enjoying the audiences having the blast. Thank you everyone for who were involved in Naatu Naatu.
That was lovely. Like, so much, details about how, like, he said 10 minutes. I think the song is less than 10 minutes, I feel like. So much effort, so much has gone behind to make it perfect, frame by frame. And just, 5-8 minutes in entire 3 or 5 minutes long film. And you put that effort because it's a big part of the narrative. It's not just, a break from the narrative. It's not just time pass. No, it's part of the narrative. So that's the passion you need. And as we are going on, more RRR things happening, winning, Oscar is coming up, we'll be watching it live. Do join us there, and let's see, hopefully even after Oscar the wave of RRR will continue. Let's see, but of course one day we have to move on. So check out this video next. If you like this, the thumbs up button, share this, and I'll see you next time.